Down through history, the one thing that people longed for was a piece of land, to call their own. To own land was to be somebody. To own your own land was to have the freedom and the opportunity to provide for you and your family. On a much larger scale, land is what made you a country. After all, every single nation in the world has a boundary that says, this land is our home, and this land belongs to us. But not only did the land belong to you, but you belonged to the land. Your very survival was tied to the resources, your land had to offer. Things such as water, land that you could farm, trees that could be turned into lumber, fields to pasture your flocks, or precious metals that you could use for trade. In a very real way, the land defined the people who lived there. Having said all of this, ownership of the land worked a little differently for the children of Israel because God claimed the land as his own. As a matter of fact, when you think about it, God owns it all. But in the case of Israel, God intentionally carved out this part of planet Earth as belonging to himself, and then he turns around and gives it to the children of Israel, which is why the Bible continually refers to this land as the land the Lord your God has given to you. Please don't miss this. Those words, the Lord your God, are critical to understanding the nature of ownership. God owned the land, and the children of Israel could occupy it as long as they were in a relationship with God. In other words, this gift came with a condition. As long as they remained faithful to God, the land was theirs. As long as they obeyed God's commandments, the land was theirs. As long as they witnessed to the nations around them, the land was theirs. And the truth is, no matter how many times they fell into apostasy, no matter how many times they sinned, no matter how many times they worshiped false gods, the land always belonged to them. Even when they were exiled in Babylon for 70 years, God still reserved the land for them. Why? Because loving parents always want to build a good home for their kids. For Adam and Eve, their home was paradise. For the children of Israel, it was a land flowing with milk and honey. And for you and I, a new heaven and a new earth with a mansion prepared just for you with your name on it. And all that God asks in return is the same thing he has always asked, that we abide in his love so that we can abide in his home. Because the best home of all is the love of God.